Vasyl Lomachenko is considered one of the top 3 best fighters in the world. With less than 16 professional fights, he's already beaten a slew of top opponents and handed a lot of them their first defeats. Now, as he prepares to fight the undefeated Teofimo Lopez, who's 15-0 with 12 knockouts, Lomachenko is faced against a younger, bigger opponent who possesses the ever-coveted blend of hand speed and power. Now, in order to curtail his braggadocious foe, Lomachenko is going to have to rely on his own physical gifts, but his ace in the hole will be his experience and his skill, and in this scenario, his jab will also be key. Although Lomachenko is known for his footwork and his array of power punches, it's only been until recently that he's been unleashing his jab, and as we're going to see against Teofimo Lopez, there is work to be done with that jab. For those unfamiliar with boxing, Lopez employs what is called the Philly shell style of boxing. The stance involves fighting with the lead hand down, with the rear hand pinned to the side of the chin to protect from hooks. The style allows for fighters to roll with right hands without having to move the head or to block the shots head on. This was popularized by Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s rise to stardom in the past 15 years, but the style has been around since the late 40s through veterans like Archie Moore and Georgie Benton. Since then, a slew of fighters have employed the style. Now, the benefit of the Philly shell style is that it allows fighters to minimize damage and impact by rolling with the right hands. The problem is that it's a difficult style to master. Just ask guys like Adrian Broner and Andrew Berto. The position of the Philly shell requires great reflexes and balls in order to turn at the right second. Failure to do so can leave a guy exposed and could result in disaster. Moreover, to be able to counter from the Philly shell, guys are required to stand a little tall, which prevents them from slipping jabs. That's why that punch is usually the most effective against the Philly shell defense, and Teofimo Lopez is no exception. In his fight against Eddie Stattel, Lopez ate some stiff jabs that snapped his head back. In the Comey fight, despite the fact that Lopez ended matters in the second round, he still ate his share of jabs. And against Diego Magdaleno, who like Lomachenko is a southpaw, Lopez also absorbed some jabs. Simply by going to the body, changing levels, and shooting throwaway shots, two things that Lomachenko also does, Magdaleno managed to connect with jabs. Now, to Lopez's credit, it's common to touch him with a jab, but catching him with more than 2 shots in a row is hard because his reflexes and his defense are so good. But the problem is he does take single jabs, and the problem with taking too many jabs is that they put pressure on the spinal column. They stiffen the back, and thus they prevent fighters from dodging further shots as the fight progresses. By the way, Lopez also ate a ton of jabs against Nakatami, but we're gonna look at that in another video. Meanwhile, Lomachenko has displayed that he has a superb jab. Against the master boxer Guillermo Rigondeaux, Lomachenko couldn't quite pin the slippery Cuban, so he employed a stiff jab that soon had Rigondeaux fearful to taste the heavier artillery, and ultimately quit. Against Jose Pedraza, Lomachenko constantly peppered his opponent with his jab, even though Pedraza was a taller opponent. Same thing against the taller Olympic gold medalist Luke Campbell. Now, what makes Lomachenko's jab such an effective weapon is the fact that he telegraphs it very little. There's only a bit of pullback on his punch. He keeps the arm out in position and simply uncorks it when he sees the opening. It's a nice straight shot. And as we've mentioned in other videos, he constantly moves his hands, head, and feet, firing off shots from different angles, which makes timing him a very difficult proposition. If Lopez wants to stop that jab, he should do what we mentioned in the last video, which is to counter with jabs with shots to the body. Otherwise, this could turn out like another fight where a more experienced jabber beat up a younger, lesser seasoned veteran in Kovalev versus Yard. So what do you guys think? Will Lomachenko's jab play a big part against Lopez? And if so, how can Lopez stop it? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Take it easy, folks. Thanks for watching.